Coffee-inspired names that are perfect for your Pooch. Sometimes when you have a new puppy or dog, it can be challenging to determine the best name for them. If you have a new dog and are searching for the perfect name, congratulations! While it may not be the simplest thing on earth to choose the right name, we have some great tips that will help you do so. There are tons of options for dog names, and we'll tell you which the best options in your situations are. We'll also go over what the requirements are for a dog name if you choose to have your dog registered by the American Kennel Club. But that's not all. We're also going to delve into coffee and caffeine related names that you might want to choose for your new dog. Just imagine calling out latte or Kona and having your prized pet scramble to come to your side. There's no reason you can't make your pet a part of your love for coffee and blend the two in a way that works for your household. First things first, though, let's consider some tips on naming an animal in your home. The basics of naming a pet. We recommend that you avoid the most common pet names for your own dog unless you're extremely attached to one option or another. There is a good reason for that though. If you name your new pet Bella, for example, the dog could end up getting quite confused when visiting the veterinarian or the local dog park. Hearing someone else calling its name could have your dog darting off. And you may see ears perk if you call out a name that tons of other dogs have. Of course, we don't expect you to know which pet names are the most popular at any one time. We'll share the top names for dogs here. Bailey, Bear, Bella, Buddy, Charlie, Cooper, Daisy, Duke, Jack, Lola, Lucy, Luna, Maggie, Max, Molly, Oliver, Rocky, Sadie, Stella, Tucker. So unless you're in love with one of those names, you might want to go with something a bit more unique. Save yourself and your Pooch from extra confusion. If you're adopting or buying more than one dog at a time, one common option is to name the dogs after the famous duo or trio. This could be anything from Macaroni and Cheese to Mo, Larry, and Curly. There isn't anything inherently wrong with naming your pets in this manner, but you do want to be sure you like each name on its own. Sometimes you may have one pet with you and not the other. Another consideration is using a living person's name. This is again not a bad idea, but you should always have a conversation with the person whose name you'd like to use first. Of course, we don't mean you can't name your dog after a celebrity, but if it's a friend or family member, take time to ask. While many people may be overjoyed to have a pet named after them, some people may also be offended by the possibility. Now let's take a look at a few do's and don'ts regarding naming a brand new dog. Stay away from pop culture trends. This isn't a hard and fast rule, but it is something to keep in mind. Many years ago, you were really in love with Justin Bieber and even decided to name your dog after him. But in the here and now, your interests have grown and changed, while Puppy Beaver is now a towering dog with a name that you aren't quite in love with. This is why you should think long and hard before choosing a pop culture's reference as a name for your new puppy. However, if the pop culture reference is something that has stood the test of time, go for it. Just stay away from memes that may be amazing now and forgotten before the month is out. There's no reason to choose a long, complicated name. There's nothing wrong with being creative, but if you give your dog 5 names and each has 10 letters in it, that might be a bit too much. It actually surpasses being creative and being confusing to your pet. If you must choose a long name, shorten it down and have a nickname, and you can use that for your pet. This will make it easier for your dog to remember, and you won't be calling out for 30 seconds just to get the name out of your mouth. It might not seem like a big deal, but you can be unique with the name without making it a giant mouthful for yourself, pets, and those around you. You don't have to choose a name that people use. You may enjoy having a dog named like Dale or Francis, but not everyone does. Remember that you will be using this name, whatever it is, multiple times a day after it's chosen. This doesn't mean that you have to give up your hopes of naming your dog Reginald, but consider what effect it will have. If you're okay with strange looks and questioning about the name, this might not be an issue for you at all. However, you can have just as much fun with a non-human name like Waffles or Snuggles, coming up with ideas with the name of your dog. Once you have your new puppy, think about its unique personality and appearance. If you have a dog that's always in a great mood, you can call him Smiley. If you chose a Dalmatian, you can consider Spotty or Dots. This is a common option for naming a dog, but it can still be fun. Of course, it can be just as exciting to name your dog something ridiculous. Think about Giant for your Yorkie or Baby for a Mastiff. You can also come up with name ideas based on places, items, and situations that mean something to you personally. Did you find your puppy huddled up next to a McDonald's? Name them Maca or Fries. If you adopted in the summer, maybe you want to go with Sunshine. There are tons of options there, but you'll have to take some time to consider which of them resonates with you. Another option is to name your new dog after a historical figure or famous celebrity. Name your dog after your favorite character on the show that you can't get enough of, or adopt a famous pianist name if you love listening to classical music. It doesn't have to be a person either. Anything that brings you joy can make a great name. Enjoy gardening? Name your dog Tomato or Carrot. In the end, the most important thing is that you choose a name that you enjoy and that your dog is happy to respond to. Whether it's a name millions of dogs have or one that is unique to your own dog, that doesn't matter that much. Your dog isn't going to care or even know what the difference is. Choosing a name for the American Kennel Club registration. If you're going to register your pet with the American Kennel Club, AKC, it has to have an official name. This is a name you will use if and when you show your pet. You'll also have to have your name approved by the organization to ensure uniqueness among the other dogs. There are a ton of guidelines around this, and it can be challenging to figure out on your own. However, there are a few tips to be sure you have the best chance of choosing a name that will be approved. The first thing to keep in mind is that the name must be no more than 36 characters, which includes spaces. This is the limit if you'd like to sign up for a basic AKC membership. However, you can go up to 50 characters if you submit an extra $10 to the organization. Splurge if you like, but 36 characters should be more than enough for most dog owners. There are some names that cannot be used by AKC registered dogs, which are largely show terms and titles that are in use. Names with the word champ or champion won't make it through the process. You should also avoid any offensive language such as obscene phrases, swear words, or obsessive terminology. If you use this type of language, it is likely that you will be rejected. You are also asked not to use breed names in the pet's name, so avoid making Colin or Beagle your dog's middle name on your form. The same applies to names that make it clear what gender your pet is. This might include boy, girl, stud, or bitch. These terms should be avoided because it can make the judging process more complicated for your judges at a competition. Dogs from a pedigree may have a kennel name, which is often used as the first name. This name might be a family name, a location name, a made-up word, or a name of a past dog. If you bought from a breeder, ask if they already have a kennel name. Every dog in the same family will share a kennel name, but have a second name that is more individual. The last name is often the owner's last name, but you can make other choices if you like. Dog names that are inspired by coffee. Now we get to the good stuff. Names for your pet that are inspired by your favorite beverage. Coffee. We mentioned that it's common to name a dog after a favorite hobby, celebrity, or location, and coffee fits right in. Many people love to drink a cup of coffee every day, and having a pet named for the brew is a fantastic idea. However, knowing you want a coffee-based name and coming up with a good one are two very different things. Don't fret, because we came prepared and would like to share some of the best coffee names that you can imagine. Let's get started. Coffee. That's right. For a lack of better choice, you can simply name your dog Coffee. It may not be the most imaginative option, but it isn't a bad choice by any means. It's a nice short name that your dog will likely learn quite quickly. This is especially apt name if you have a dog that is black or a dark brown, since their coat will resemble a simple cup of joe. If you prefer a straightforward name, that makes clear what your priorities are. You're good to go. Mocha. This is another great name for a darker dog, especially one that's loved cuddles and hugs. Why? Because mocha is essentially a coffee that is chocolate mixed in. If you prefer lighter drinks, the mocha might be for you. It's also a short and sweet name that your dog will be happy to answer to. This is a favorite, and it doesn't even have to bring up visions of coffee to others. Cappuccino. A cappuccino is an Italian drink that involves a double shot of espresso and some steamed milk and foam. It can have a beautiful design displayed on top and is a great beverage for the artistic type. It also makes an elegant and interesting name for your new dog. You can use cappuccino itself or cut it down to cappy or chino, depending on your taste. Dunkin'. If you're a fan of grabbing coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, why not call your new pet Dunkin'? It's a fairly unassuming name, but it still speaks to your love of caffeinated beverage. This is especially suited for a male dog, although it doesn't have to be used that way. Espresso. Have a beautiful dark dog? Another name to consider is espresso. This is a strong black coffee that is made by using steam to push through ground coffee beans. Your black or brown puppy would make a great espresso and offer a look into your own love for the drink. Latte. On the same wavelength as cappuccino, a latte can also be a fantastic name for a dog. This drink is similar to the cappuccino, but it has more steamed milk and uses espresso for the boost of coffee. We recommend this name for any dog of a light brown, since the colors will match up perfectly with the tasty drink. Java. Want to go with a simple name but stay away from coffee? Well, how about Java? It means the exact same thing but sounds a bit more unique coming off the tongue. This is the sort of name that will fit all sorts of dogs, but those of darker colors might be the best option. Bailey. For someone that is a fan of the Irish coffee, you likely know the relevance of Bailey's Irish cream mixed in to a hot cup of coffee. Bailey is also a mainstream name that any dog would love. You don't have to tell everyone where the name came from if you don't want, but if they see your cup of coffee, they might know anyway. Keurig. If you're someone who loves your K-Pods, you can name your pet after the device that changed coffee forever. It's a unique name that certainly won't be heard from the other owners at the dog park, so you can keep your pet right next to you without worry. Cream. This is an additive to coffee rather than being a form of coffee itself, but it fits the category. It's also an extremely adorable name for a pet that is a lighter color. We recommend calling your pet Cream if it is relaxed and calm, since cream is made to tone down your coffee by a bit. Sugar. On the same token as cream comes sugar, which is another great name for your pet dog. White and other light colored dogs would be fitting for this name, especially if they're love bugs who enjoy being near you all the time. Of course, it can also be an assuming name for a dark colored pet as well. Chai. Chai is a fun name, and while you might think it applies to tea, it doesn't have to. The dirty chai is a tea drink that also includes espresso. This could be a fantastic name for a male or female pet of any color of the rainbow. Cocoa. We've already mentioned mocha, but how about cocoa for a name? It's a sweet name that doesn't immediately signify coffee, but can have that connotation if you'd like it to. Since cocoa is normally a light to dark brown, we recommend bestowing a pet of that hue with his name. Maxwell might not immediately seem to be related to coffee, but it is part of the name of an extremely popular brand, Maxwell House. If you start your day with a cup of this brand of coffee, why not have your pet named after your favorite beverage? You can brew up a cup of Maxwell House and enjoy it with Maxwell at your feet. Caramel. Moving back to additives, caramel is one of the most popular of them all. Every coffee house that is worth its salt will have caramel ready to add to your coffee beverage. If you enjoy the taste of this treat, you might enjoy having a pet who goes by the same name. You can also go with Cara or Mel as a nickname if you prefer. Macchiato is a simple drink that is made by combining espresso with steaming milk. If it's your go-to coffee drink, why not consider it your pet's new name? You can keep it long and elegant or short it to be a bite-sized name that's easier for your dog to learn and respond to. We recommend Mock. Kaldi. If you're familiar with the history of coffee, you might have heard of the goat herder named Kaldi. It is believed that he was the original person who discovered the coffee plant and consumed its berries. This is a cute name and one that is extremely unique, which makes it great for a new dog. You can use the name Cal if you want to shorten it even more. The cortado is a coffee beverage that originated in Spain. The drink itself involves mixing espresso with an equal amount of warm milk. This gives a medium to light brown color, so the name would match well with a puppy with the same color. It's also the sort of name that you aren't likely to hear used for another dog. Joe. Another simple name that simply means coffee is Joe. Many people call their morning coffee a cup of Joe, and you can incorporate that into your pet's name without being obvious about your love for coffee. Make it longer by calling the dog Joseph or Josephine if you prefer. Pia Berry. This might seem like an odd name, but it can be super unique and cute as well. If you aren't sure what a Pia Berry is, allow us to explain. When you break into a coffee bean, there is a seed inside. However, sometimes when a berry is open, there are two seeds. That is known as a Pia Berry, and it would be a great name for a ginger dog. Single coffee beans start out with a reddish hue. Cuppa. We suggested the name Joe earlier for the phrase Cup of Joe, and this name is from the exact same thing. Some people like to playfully refer to their coffee as a cuppa instead of a cup of. This could be an excellent name for a dainty or toy dog with a big dose of personality. It may not be for everyone, but that just makes it stand out even more if you like it. Vanilla. Just like caramel, vanilla is a common addition to coffee. It also makes a nice feminine name for your pet dog. Another option from this word is the name Nilla, which is fit for the diva or princess in your life. It also isn't immediately recognizable as coffee name, but those who know you will realize the truth. Kona. Kona is a type of coffee that comes from the Hawaiian Islands. The coffee has a huge following and is known for its high quality due to being grown in the volcanic soil. This is a fun name for your dog and would work very well for an outgoing dog that enjoys the water and beach. Valencia. This is another name that doesn't scream coffee but still has some connotations behind it. Valencia is actually a city that is located in California. Which makes it unique is that there are coffee houses on every single corner. This name is fine as is, or it can be shortened to Val for those who prefer a single syllable for the name of their dog. The affogato is a coffee drink that starts with a scoop of vanilla ice cream and then is topped with hot espresso. If you have a pet dog that is mostly white with a touch of brown or vice versa, affogato could be a fantastic moniker for them. Not only is it fitting, but also sounds quite nice even to those who are unfamiliar with the beverage. Breve. If you're familiar with the cappuccino, the Breve is a similar beverage. It is made like the other coffee drink, but rather than using milk, it incorporates half and half instead. This is a name that has an interesting sound and is sure to perk up the ears of your pup once they know it is theirs. Beans. Some people enjoy silly or nonsensical names for their pets, and beans fit the bill on both accounts. It also offers a nod to coffee since any coffee drink starts with the coffee bean. Just imagine calling out beans to your new pet and you'll immediately know if it's the right option for you and your dog or not. It's definitely a fun option that the kids will love. Linea. The name comes from Bella Linea, which is a company that produces coffee machines. While the Bella part of the name is quite popular, Linea is more understated and won't have a dozen dogs at the park looking your way. It's a fantastic name for a feminine dog with a dose of elegance and class. Divinia is a coffee drink that incorporates a lot of cream and such. This is a name that we recommend for a light brown dog in your life. It can easily be used for male or female dogs with the right personality, but will likely be more popular for the female dogs in the house. Lait. Lait is a word that means milk in French and is used in the famous drink café au lait. The name means nothing more than coffee with milk and will be great for a lighter colored pet. If you appreciate the nuance of the French language, this might be the perfect coffee name to dub your pet. The final words. As you can see, there are tons of names for your dog that relate to coffee. Let your dog's personality play a part in which moniker to choose. However, be aware that everyone interprets different coffee words in their own way. If you feel like the name is perfect for your dog, that's all that matters. One person might find coffee a boring name, while another might appreciate the simplicity of it. In addition to personality, think about the color of your pet. The darker brew names might be fantastic for a darker brown or black dog, while the drinks with lots of milk or caramel would be better suited for light brown dogs. Cream and sugar would be better suited for white or cream colored dogs. Name your new puppy whatever makes the both of you the happiest. Thanks for watching. To learn more, visit www.SimplyForDogs.com.